Having starter is a lot like having a pet. You got to feed it once a day. You have to take care of it. You have to keep it comfortable. The biggest difference is at 5 o'clock on the nose, starter doesn't start staring at you. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed Ruby, and then we'll teach you how to feed your starter. Love you. Okay, so we actually do feed Ruby twice a day. She gets food at 6 a.m. and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So when you feed your starter, you do feed it once a day, particularly if it's going to stay at room temperature. You can keep it in the fridge. That'll just retard all of the chemical action that goes on. You don't need to feed it every single day if you're not baking every single day. But the rate that we've been making bread lately, we are baking quite often, and so I generally feed it. You want to give it a good feed 2 to 3 days before you start your bread. All I'm going to do is do starter, water, and flour in equal parts by weight. I have 2 of these containers that are identical. They're super cheap, they're really easy to clean. A lot of people like to have these rustic looking containers that they're cool looking. They have too many corners, too many places for sourdough to hide. They're a pain in the ass to clean if you're going to be feeding every day. Go simple with your containers. So all I'm going to do now is do 125 grams of starter to 125 grams of water to 125 grams of AP flour. If you go over, just take a little out. And the main thing is that it's just equal parts. The fact that it's exact doesn't matter as much. That's our starter. I'm going to hit the tare button. That's going to take it back to 0. And then I'm going to take it up to 125 grams of water. Now, I'm using weight because it is way more accurate than using volume. So don't use volume for this, use weight. Because all flour is different. All flour has different amounts of moisture in it. And if you do it by weight, you'll be significantly more accurate. So now I'm going to add 125 grams of flour. Now in my case, I like to mix it up with whole wheat. So I'm going to go 20 grams of whole wheat. And why do I do that? Because the whole wheat flour that I use has a lot of really good yeast in it. And so that helps add to my sourdough starter. You can use rye flour as well if you want, or you can just use straight all-purpose flour. That'll be fine too. But try different things with your starter. These guys are pretty lively. Aside from heat, it's really hard to kill them. There we go. And now all I'm going to do is mix that up. Oh, it also takes a little longer to feed starter than it does to feed Ruby. But all I'm going to do is just mix it up. Put a top back on it. You don't want a tight fitting lid because you want air to be able to get in. So in my case, since these are designed to be tight fitting lids, I drilled a hole in them. It allows air to get in and CO2 to escape. He's just going to sit there on the counter now. Tomorrow, I'll feed him again, or I'll make bread. The other one, I'm going to wash out. That's all I need. Okay? So, next step, we keep feeding it every day. When the day you decide to make your leaven, That's when we get to the next lesson.